is if she has doctor.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, how old are you?
29.
29. We're talking about, I'm sorry, we're talking about dating standards and rules of engagement. Are you single or are you married?
I am single.
Any kids by any chance?
3.
All by the same father?
Yes.
Are you guys still together?
We are not.
Okay. So are you dating?
On and off I am. Right now I'm not.
Right. What did you have on the topic?
So you asked the last lady about like the first time that it should be like a touch or like intimacy touch.
Breaking the touch barrier. How long? How long before first deep kiss? And how long before sex?
Well, I'm more of a person who believes in like instant like connection, like an instant contact. So like I feel as though if I've accepted a date from a guy, then like there has to be some type of physical connection there, because otherwise I wouldn't have, accepted the date.
Okay.
As far as like the intimacy touching, like,
so breaking the touch barrier on the first date?
I mean, like you didn't go into specifics as far as like we can hold hands.
Specific, I said touch barrier, putting your hand on the smaller back.
Yeah, that can happen the first night. What if we go dancing or something? I'm just saying.
Okay, then kissing.
If the date goes well, it's okay to kiss on the first night.
Okay. Sex,
I would say like 90 days, because we're still getting to know each other, and then on top of that, like I'm a firm believer, like it takes time to get to know somebody, and like I want to know where your head is before I give you my body.
How many dates in a 1 week period are you talking about?
In a week, I would say I would on the average like 2.5, because the half may count for like maybe after a lunch date or something like that.
Okay. So that's 2.5 dates a week. That's 5 dates every 2 weeks. That's 10 dates a month. That's 30 dates. A man needs to take you on 30 dates before he has sex.
Yeah, but I mean, the dates don't have to be like public dates. Like we can stay in the house and talk, cook dinner.
I gotta see you on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday afternoon. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday afternoon. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday afternoon. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday afternoon. Times 3. Then, why?
Why what? Why wait the 90 days?
Well, you said, I'm just going on, I'm asking.
Oh, why? Or why?
Yeah, because Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday afternoon, that's 2.5 dates. And that's 5 dates every 2 weeks, or it's 10 dates a month. Times 3 months, that's 30 dates. Whether they're public or not. What's the logic there?
The logic is I'm still trying to get to know you. Mm-hmm. That is the thing. Before I give my...
What do you need to know about me? What do you need to know about your date before you decide to have sex with them?
Well, I want to know a lot of stuff. I want to know long-term goals, short-term goals. I mean, I want to get to know
Are you dating? Are you looking to get married?
I am.
Okay. When you start dating, are you planning on dating with the intention to be married?
Yes, I have to say yes.
Are you a wife?
I am not at the current moment.
Now you got to understand where men are coming from. A woman has 3 children. And you expect a man to wait 30 dates.
Yeah, why not? I'm just saying, like, why not? I mean, my amount of children shouldn't have to do with when I'm going to open my legs.
Why do you think that?
I mean, because that's what at the end of the day, I shouldn't be judged on how many kids I have. Like, I still have morals.
Yes, you should.
Why should I?
Because it matters to us men.
Okay, but that's like vice versa. Like, what if
No,
a man?
no, no, man. Okay, man. Okay, we were doing just fine. I've answered the question directly because it matters to us men. You had 3 children by men that you did not even marry. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking about if I decide in the future I want to date towards marriage. That means you're not looking for a husband. You're looking for a stepfather before a husband. He'd have to be a stepfather.
No, I'm not looking for a stepfather before a
Okay,
husband.
you need to hold on and pump your brakes because he would be a stepfather. And he'd have to be a stepfather before he's your husband because that job. And do you want to have any additional kids?
I don't.
Okay, so a man would come into your world and have to be a stepfather to 3 children, and he would not even get his own child, and he would need to wait 90 days and put in 30 dates. Fine,
But
man, fine, but I got one question. Why are you so expensive?
I'm expensive because I have morals and values. Like, I'm just not out here about to be dating or giving myself away to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like, that's just not me. So,
Ma'am, do you realize that? Do you think your time frame of, hey, we can break the touch barrier first date. First date goes well, we can kiss, but wait, before we have sex, it's gonna take 90 days and 30 days. Do you think that is average, below average, above average, or in a high level of female requirement?
I would say it's probably average.
You think the average woman is waiting 90 days and 30 days?
It's probably less dates than that, but if they're not waiting 90 days, I just don't know.
We're in a hookup economy. We're in a Netflix and chill economy. And I got to go back to it, man. Men don't understand why women like yourself don't understand that your children make you less valuable.
So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you have children?
Doesn't matter.
No, I'm really like
it doesn't matter. A woman having children, because it doesn't matter. We're talking about you. Women with children are less valuable on the sexual marketplace. It doesn't. The mouth is a double standard. It's not the same for men.
Why isn't it though?
Because you're not supposed to be out here making babies out of wedlock. You're supposed to be with your child's father. Because women pay a higher price for having children. The same reason why nature tells you have between so long and so long before nature shuts off your ability to have children. Not us. It's different for us. And my question is, why do you women argue with biology?
I mean, I'm not arguing with biology. It's just the simple fact that you were like, you have 3 children, so like my value is just like
it's lower.
But it's just like
it is.
Men can
okay. Before you say that, I'll let you speak. Do you think what I'm saying is what the average man thinks? You having children out of wedlock, 1, 2, 3, makes your value lower than the childless version of yourself.
No, I mean, I've heard that a time or two in my life.
Okay. Do you think your sexual marketplace value with 3 children is the same as your sexual marketplace value with no children?
No.
Is it higher or lower with children?
I mean, I would say it's lower.
Okay, so why are we having this conversation if you understand that?
Because I want to know as far like why is it such a double standard? Because
we don't want to raise nobody else's kids.
But men come into a situation where they approach a woman and they have children from here to California.
That ain't the same.
Why isn't it the same though? Like they have to take care.
Okay, you asked because it is. Let me tell you why. Take it to the animal kingdom. when males take over new females, what do? They kill all the other cubs. The only ones that live are the females. A man's coming into your life. He'd have to come in there and pay the mortgage. Okay, let's say I was going to marry you, right? Let's just say I'm going to marry you. Let's say our rent is $3,000. Would you expect me to pay all the rent, all the mortgage, or half the mortgage?
If our rent was $3,000, I would expect for you to pay. See, I was raised different, but I would expect for you to pay, as a man taking the lead, all of it.
Taking the lead, meaning what? So a man taking the lead, and guess what? I should really be paying $600.
Oh, why?
Why? Because you live there?
You absolutely right.
Hold on, excuse me. You gotta listen. You want to know? Because you come with you and 3 people. I come with me. 3,000 divided by 5 is $600. I got $600 worth of that living space. I ain't living in all those rooms. That's the difference. And I don't even get a kid. See, that means I'm paying to raise somebody else's children. And let's just say, in my scenario, you decided to give me 1 child. And then I come to the table with food, a pizza that has 18 slices, and there are 4 children and 2 adults. That's 6 people. Do you expect every person to eat equally? Each person get 3 slices?
Yeah, that'll feel you.
And that's bullshit, because my kids should eat my food. Your children need to eat out of your out of your portion.
See, and that's the thing, like,
oh, listen, this is how men think. I should bring food for you, me, and my child. So that means I get 6 slices, my kid gets 6 slices, you get 6 slices. And if you want your 3 children from another man to eat, you need to take your 6 slices and divide it with them. We'll let that happen. And that's the problem, because that's how men think. You want men to come in and provide all this because you're the head of house and you're this. And y'all do this stuff when y'all are living like rebels, having babies out of wedlock, not doing anything traditional. And then at the later point, start talking this traditional stuff, what a man's supposed to do. Well, a woman is supposed to be a wife before she is a mother, and she's supposed to stay. If you don't have that first, you can't say what a man is supposed to do. Thoughts?
I just think it's like a double standard. Like I said, like, I just feel like men are out here dating as well, and they have multiple children. And I understand you saying like it's not the same.
Well, first off, not all men. First off, 54% of black men are single and childless. So not all men. Most men don't have any kids. 30% of black men are married. So the men who are out here with multiple children are roughly about 16 to 20% of men. But that just happens to be the men that y'all make babies with.
Or that just happens to be the men who are out here looking for a woman that they think is going to help them out at the end of the day.
Whatever.
There are men that
it
are
doesn't matter. But the point of the matter, it doesn't matter. If you decide to date a man with kids, what's on you? Because 54% are single and childless. See, here's the better question. Why didn't you get married before you decided to have kids?
Me personally?
Mm-hmm.
The question was never asked. But
then why would you give a man the greatest blessing a woman can give a man without him even having to make you his wife and give you his last name? You cannot ask a man to come along after you've done that and pay a higher price. He's going to pay less or nothing. Not a man of value. The only man that will come along and do that is a man of lesser value. Because a man of higher value has options, because he'd be looking for the childless version of you at best.
Okay.
So the double standard, you ladies know this exists. And this whole thing about, and I want to go back to the point where you said, as the man, you would expect me to pay all of it.
But I mean, and then as your wife, I would come and say like, hey, like, let me help as well. Like, where did we fall short at?
As my wife, you're coming in with 3 whole people.
Okay, and
listen, as my wife, you would have to come in overperforming. I got to bring in my part. You got to bring in your part, and for all them kids. So you better be getting it from the baby daddy, because I'm not going to pay for all of them. And I don't even get a kid, so I'm going to take care of this right here. It's because, man, do you not understand how you're basically shifting the responsibility of your baby daddy onto a man who you don't have kids with, just because he would happen to have the title of husband?
Well, I mean, over time, that that goes back to dating. Like, over time, those relationships will have to like develop, as far as like, okay, we're dating, this is serious, you know, like there has to be a conversation with my future husband and my kid's father. There will have to be a conversation as far as like boundaries, what you know, a man to man conversation, like, hey, I know these are your children, like, however, I would like to marry her. And
so in other words, I got to go to another man to ask him to be a man in my own house?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What boundaries?
You financial boundaries.
Okay, financial boundaries. I don't need to. Okay, man, hold on. I don't need to have any conversation with that man about boundaries in my house.
You absolutely right. However, I do still believe that a conversation should be had about, like, you know, like, this is my wife, I'm going to take care of our household. However, like, these are still your children, so I don't expect for you to lack in any responsibility.
What do you mean?
But they're your children. As far as the children go.
So give me an example. I don't know what that means.
So, like,
that means he can make rules in my house?
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, when it comes, if me and my future husband, who I did not bear children with, you know, decides to marry me, and, you know, we do this whole thing, then I feel as though the conversation needs to happen between my future husband and my kid's father.
What's the conversation, though, between the men?
The conversation should be, future husband should say, I know that I am marrying into this, you know, this situation that you guys have going on. However, like, I don't expect for you to lack just because
you keep saying the same thing. It's not any more clear. What does lack mean? What does that mean?
Like, I don't expect for you to fall short on taking care of your responsibilities.
Fall short meaning what?
Children.
Fall short meaning what?
It could be, like I said, financially. It could be as far as like
weekend
pickups and stuff like that.
Hold on. Man, don't get upset that you're not making it clear. Fall short, you mean the child support he's paying?
It could be that, yes.
Then what else?
It could be something as simple as like weekend visitations or something like that.
That's set by the court.
Huh?
That's set by the court.
I know, but I mean, I wouldn't want my future husband to be like, okay, you know, now that I'm your husband and these are my stepchildren, they can no longer see their father. Like,
that's a court order.
I understand that, but what I'm saying,
that ain't how men. That's not how men move. There's a court order. You paying child support, his visitation. Take your kids. Bye.
Yeah, but I still believe as though it's out of respect, though. Like,
well, out of respect to what? See,
that's the kid's father.
And this is why y'all need to marry y'all's children's father, because you want 2 men to come to an agreement on how to be men, because you could not sit your hot ass down and marry somebody and be a wife. I'm supposed to have to talk to this man about how I'm going to be a man in my own house. No. Fuck no.
That's not what I'm trying
The
to
kids
say.
are in the house. Can I, if I'm your husband, can I discipline the children like they're my own since I got to pay for them?
Yes.
I can whoop their ass.
Yes.
Do I need to get your permission?
No.
Do I need
Like
to get
we're
his
husband and
permission?
wife.
Do I need to get his permission?
No.
Then what else do they talk about? Because the problems don't tend to be between men. The problems tend to be between the woman being in the middle. See, when men tend to talk, we tend to work it out because as long as you take care of your kids, because he ain't trying to, first off, anybody stepping into this with me, no offense, man, they're not getting a kid in the matter. So if they're stepping into this and they're paying more than 20%, they're getting screwed. You should have the financial, those children that you chose to make should be self-sustaining by the man you chose to make them with. The man you choose to get with, because he's getting no kids, at best should have to pay 20% of every 20% of the lights, mortgage, gas, utilities, groceries, whatever, and whatever. And if that's not y'all don't seem to understand that men are not raising nobody else's kids. And this is in Black America in particular. Black women have gotten to the point to where you guys almost expect black men to just be stepdaddies. And when we tell you to no, y'all are like, what? What? All our kids are out of wedlock. We didn't say we want this shit. I mean, what's the next highest out of wedlock group? Other women know to marry their children's father. The next lowest married group is white women at 54%. They're twice as married as you guys. And you got all these kids and they'll say, well, the man didn't ask. Do you make room for the possibility, ma'am, that you're going to die unmarried?
I have made, like, I've thought about it a time or two.
Okay. Well, that's far more likely. Especially with today. Men are not signing up to be stepfathers because I'm going to ask you, what is the advantage for a childless man to come in to be a stepfather in a situation like yours or just in general? What's the advantage to the man?
Well, some men do want kids, but maybe.
Yeah, they want their own children.
Right, but what if they can't have them?
Most men want their own children. So we're going to go with the case. That's just like saying overweight women got thyroid. Stick to the norm. What's the advantage for a man to walk into your family with another man? What's the advantage to him? See that side, gentlemen? That side was that side of there ain't one. And they don't want to say it because they love their kids. I get it. But there is no advantage. Matter of fact, stepfathers are looked at as suckers today. You know why?
You think so?
Yeah, because that's the way women have made it. When I was coming up, stepfathers were at least respected in the community. Today, stepfathers looked at as simps and suckers. And it's not because men have changed, it's because of the way women look at men and treat men have changed.
I never looked at it that way.
Maybe, I get it.
Being a sucker.
But okay, what is the advantage in being a stepfather? And I was like, what's the advantage? Do you think stepfathers are respected today in the Black community?
Yeah, I don't think they're being looked at as no suckers though. Like, I mean, no, yeah. Yes. I'm going to stand strong and firm on that.
You can stand strong and firm on that, but then I want you to go ask 100 black men who were stepfathers and then get their answers. And I'm going to tell you, as a black man who was one, I'm telling you, it's not. It's a thankless job because the child knows that you have no real power. The woman knows that those kids are hers, and at any time, she can choose to change things up. Men are just acknowledging it.
But that's why a
We're not.
conversation, that's exactly going back to the point, like a conversation needs to be had.
No, the conversation needs to be had. Yeah, here's the conversation. You go marry, you go complete the family you started. That's the conversations that need to be had in the Black community. You go get back with your man you made these babies with, and y'all gone off and get out of here. Let the single people get together. That's the conversation we need to have in the Black community. Finish the family you started.
I get that too. That is a real like conversation.
That's the thing. That's not a tool. That's the only way, because here's the next part. Here's the punchline. Go in my scenario where if you don't find a man who wants to marry you, are you making 3 times the amount a man makes? Because you got 3 kids. See, normally you need to make at least what you need to have what a woman is making, what a man is making. But with 3 kids, you need to make 3 times that. Are you making over $110,000 a year?
Not yet.
Okay. How much at age 65, when you hit retirement age? How much cash will you need to live between 65 and 85?
How much cash would I need?
Mm-hmm. How much money we need to survive for 20 years, 65 to 85? What do you think? Just ballpark it.
I don't honestly know.
Just ballpark it. 20 years. What do you think?
Probably around like maybe like 75K. I'm just playing. I don't know.
75,000?
Yeah, about that.
Okay, 75,000 for 20 years is 3,000, less than $4,000 a year. That's $400 a month.
Oh no.
Yeah. How much you gonna need to live for 20 years?
I'm not sure. You give me your ballpark.
Oh, well, no, man, this is your life. This is your life. This is your life.
All right, we can take it up to like 400K.
Ma'am, you're gonna need about 1.9 million.
Not millions.
Elderly care costs, ma'am. You gotta pay mortgage. You gotta pay utilities. You gotta pay health care. You gotta pay food. Life costs. Elder care costs. It just gets expensive to age. So that's my point. So as a woman, you're not even thinking about how much money it's going to cost when you can no longer work, when you physically can't work anymore. So it's like, well, I'm going to need $75,000. No, millions. And who's going to pay that? You didn't work with a man to share the resources, to share the load, to invest, to get life insurance and all that stuff. You're choosing to be a single woman with 3 children. That means you got to be choosing to make $110,000+ a year and then saving that just to break even. So tell me how not getting married is an option. This is what I'm trying to get a lot of women to understand. Your life is a ticking time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you make all the babies and don't get married. Is this country set up for single people to retire on their own?
It's definitely not.
Well, then how do y'all think y'all gonna do it? I just don't want to think about it. I just don't want to think about it.
I mean, it is something to think about.
Then why don't you go back to your child's father and y'all just marry each other? Y'all started a family.
It can't just happen like that.
Well, then if you can't
There
get
has to be if that was an option for me, there would have to be a lot of counseling.
ma'am, I don't care what it would take.
No,
That's family. Listen. This may sound cold, but ma'am, you got 3 kids. 1 out of 4 black women will marry in their lifetime, and you got 3 kids. So your chance is probably around about less than 10%, easy. Less than 10%. You don't want to have no more kids. So I'm gonna say around about 5 to 7%.
Mm.
This is what you made, man. Counseling, I don't care. Counseling, you live in different parts of the house. Y'all better. He's paying rent, you paying rent. Y'all better figure something out because you got a whole lot of kids. I mean, that's just real talk, man. That's real talk. And see, it's sad that you got to have one man keep telling women this because where's your mother?
Around the corner.
Is she married?
She is.
To your father?
No, my father has passed away.
Okay. What is your mother? Is your mother encouraging you to get married? Nope.
She does, but
Did your mother teach you, were you raised to be a wife? Nope.
you don't know that.
Oh yeah, I do. Because
Why?
ma'am, I do know because all I have to do is look at your situation. If you're raised to be a wife, you wouldn't have 3 children out of wedlock. That's no offense, man. That's any woman. Any woman that's raised to be a wife tends to get married because women who are raised to be wives are in high demand. We don't have enough wives for the husbands today. We got plenty of women who want to get married, but we don't have enough wives. Wives are in high demand. They get taken like this. Wives don't marry, and the wives don't have babies out of wedlock. Wives don't do 10-year relationships, 3-year, 5-year, 7-year relationships without wedding rings. They don't do none of that. Wives ain't on Instagram with their ass all out and different color weaves and long. Wives ain't doing none of that shit. Wives ain't got tattoos and fake floppy. Wives don't have none of that. Wives have none of that. Every time you see a woman, men know when they're looking at a wife. Either a wife or it's everything else. And so when men come down to it. So good conversation though, man, but you and your man, y'all got a whole posse.
Not a posse.
They got a whole posse. Take it easy.
Alrighty.
They got a whole posse. Yeah, man. Wives don't have different color hair. Wives don't have tattoos all through here and around here and bull rings and raptor claws and in Atlanta. I am so sick of y'all with these goddamn snuffleupagus eyelashes. I wish